की, मथुरा धाम की, नवदीप मायापुर धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगा माई यमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to assembled devotee. All glories to assembled devotee. All glories to assembled devotee. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Devarsi Pitri Gandharva Siddha Charana Pannaga Kinnarapsaro Mirtya Khaga Bhutani Anekasa Yagneswara Diyaragya Vagvitanjali Bhaktitai Savajita Yayu Sarve Vaikunthanu Gatastata. Prabhuji. Mataji. word to word. Repeat after me. Deva, the demigods. Rishi, the great sages. Pitri, inhabitants of Pitṛloka. Gandharva, inhabitants of Gandharvaloka. Siddha, inhabitants of the planets where serpents live. Sorry, I missed it. Siddha, inhabitants of Siddhaloka. Cāraṇa, inhabitants of Cāraṇaloka. Pannaga, inhabitants of the planets where serpents live. Kinnara, inhabitants of the Kinnara planets. Apsara, inhabitants of the Apsaroloka. Martya, inhabitants of the earthly planets. Khaga, birds. Bhutani, other living entities. Anekasa, Yagneswara Dhiya, with the perfect intelligence of thinking as part and parcel of Supreme Lord. Rajna, by the king. Bhak, with sweet words. Vitta, wealth. Anjali, with folded hands. Bhaktita, in a spirit of devotional service. Sabhajita, being properly worshipped. Yayu, went. Sarve, all. Vaikuntha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Viṣṇu, Anugata, followers. Tata, from that place. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. King Pṛthu worshipped the demigods, the great sages, the inhabitants of Pitṛloka, the inhabitants of Gandharvaloka, and those of Siddhaloka, Cāraṇaloka, Pannagaloka, Kinnaraloka, Apsaroloka, the earthly planets and the planets of the gods. He also worshipped many other living entities who presented themselves in the sacrificial arena. With folded hands, he worshipped all these, as well as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the personal associates of the Lord, by offering sweet words and as much as wealth as possible. After this function, they all went back to their respective abodes, following in the footsteps of Lord Viṣṇu. Purport. In modern so-called scientific society, the idea is very prevalent that there is no life on other planets, but that only on this earth do living entities with intelligence and scientific knowledge exist. The Vedic literatures, however, do not accept this foolish theory. The followers of Vedic wisdoms are fully aware of various planets inhabited by varieties of living entities such as demigods, the sages, the Pitas, the Gandharvas, the Pannagas, the Kinnaras, the Cāraṇas, the Siddhas, and the Apsaras. The Vedas give information that in all planets, not only within this material sky, but also in the spiritual sky, there are varieties of living entities. Although all these living entities are of one spiritual nature, in quality the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they have varieties of bodies due to the embodiment of the spirit soul by the 8 material elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego. In the spiritual world, however, there is no such distinction between the body and the embodied. In the material world, distinctive features are manifested in the different types of bodies. In the various planets, we have full information from the Vedic literature that in each and every planet, both material and spiritual, there are living entities of varied intelligence. The Earth is one of the planets of the Pṛthu planetary system. There are 6 planetary systems above Pṛthu and 7 planetary systems below it. Therefore, the entire universe is known as Chaturdasa Bhuvana, indicating that it has 14 different planetary systems. Beyond the planetary system in the material sky, there is another sky which is known as Paravyoma, or the spiritual sky, where there are spiritual planets. The inhabitants of those planets engage in varieties of loving service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which include different rasas or relationship known as Dasya Rasa, Sakhya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa, and above all, Parakriya Rasa. Parakriya Rasa or the Paramar love is the prevalent in Kinnaraloka where Lord Krishna lives. This planet is also called Goloka Vrindavan, and although Lord Krishna lives there perpetually, he also expands himself in millions and trillions of forms. In one of such forms, he appears on this material planet in a particular place known as Vrindavan Dham, where he displays his original pastimes of Goloka Vrindavan Dham in the spiritual sky, in order to attract the conditioned soul back home, back to Godhead. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome to morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 20, text 35 to 36. Lord Viṣṇu's appearance in the sacrificial arena. So yeah, I'm giving a Bhagavatam class for the first time. So whatever I'm going to speak, I'm just going to repeat the words I have heard from Srila Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj, my mentors, and all senior devotees in here. So if I made any mistake or any offense, please forgive me, because there was no one to fill the class, so that's why I'm giving the emergency class on short notice. So I like to read the translation again. King Pṛthu worshipped the demigods, the great sages, the inhabitants of Pitṛloka, the inhabitants of Gandharvaloka, and those of Siddhaloka, Cāraṇaloka, Pannagaloka, Kinnaraloka, Apsaroloka, the earthly planets and the planets of the birds. He also worshipped many other living entities who presented themselves in the sacrificial arena. With folded hands he worshipped all these, as well as Supreme Personality of Godhead and the personal associates of the Lord, by offering sweet words and as much wealth as possible. After this function, they all went back to their respective abodes, following in the footsteps of Lord Viṣṇu. So here we know that Pṛthu Maharaj is the Saktyavyas avatar of Lord Viṣṇu. So, and then he is like one of the exemplary king in the whole universe. He is like performing lots of sacrifice. The citizens of the country are very happy under him, unlike like our present government, who only know how to get taxes from us, keep the citizen unhappy. But yeah, Prabhupada says like Pṛthu Maharaj is like a very exemplary king. So he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is still like behaving as an ordinary person, and he is still performing the sacrifice to please Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Pṛthu Maharaj, like he is, we can say that he is, I think, from maybe Kumara Sampradaya, because his spiritual masters are like 4 Kumaras who gave him instructions. And then here before, what happened was like Pṛthu Maharaj, just like summary of what happened earlier. Pṛthu Maharaj did 100 horse sacrifice, so whoever did the sacrifice will get the position of Indra. So Indra was like very envious of Pṛthu Maharaj, and he tried to stop sacrifice as like much as possible. And then after the instruction of Lord Brahma, Pṛthu Maharaj finally stopped the sacrifice, and being pleased with Pṛthu Maharaj, Lord Viṣṇu appeared in the sacrificial arena. So we all know that Lord Krishna says like, I am the all the yagyas will be done to please me. So I am the all like who take all the credit of yagya, and all the demigods follow after Lord Viṣṇu if he appears in the sacrificial arena, because they all expect the prasadam from the yagya. Because we have already like read in the story of Lord Shiva with Daksha as well, where Lord Shiva didn't get his prasadam, so he was like very angry because Daksha didn't offer oblation to him, didn't give him the prasadam. So when Lord Viṣṇu come to the sacrificial arena, all the different inhabitants of different planets follow them. So the modern day scientists, they are looking after the aliens in the like outer sky. They send their signals to different planets and accept they're like some beings with like a small neck, a big head, big eyes, and small legs. They are just like imagination, and then they accept those kind of very highly intelligent people living outside, which they are like little bit right as well, because the people living in like higher planetary system are like more intelligent than us in this material universe, because they are always engaged in the devotional service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Viṣṇu. But their expectation of how they look like is very different than what our scripture says. So here Prabhupada says like the in modern so-called scientific society, the idea is very prevalent that there is no life on other planets. So yeah, they don't know, like they claim that they go to moon. Yeah, they are like examining like sun. So even they don't know what's happening in our own solar system, and they try to explore like outside our solar system. They are planning to like live in a Mars, like living Earth. But yeah, when we even recall the story of Pṛthu Maharaj, when he milked the Mother Earth in the form of cow, then Mother of Earth gave all kind of necessities for the survival of human beings. So from this we can say that we don't have to go any other places to Mars or some places to for the inhabitants, because Mother Earth will give us whatever is required for us. She is fulfilling our own needs. All we need is like a in in my country we said all we need is like a gas, bas and kapas. So gas means a food, bas means a shelter, and kapas means a clothes. So that's the basic necessity for the survival of human being. So previously all the society, they used to be engaged in like a agriculture. We can see like Pṛthu Maharaj also like wanted Mother Earth to produce as much as grain is possible, but she didn't. So why are you not giving, exploiting my resources? That's why I'm hiding my resources. So in the present situation also, like people say the agriculture field, like they are barren, we can't grow enough crops and all this stuff. It's because the foolish and then atheist people, they are exploiting the resources of Mother Earth. So she is hiding all her natural resources. So that's why. So for that, what we can do is like we have to satisfy Mother Earth, we should please Lord Viṣṇu. How can we please Lord Viṣṇu or Lord Krishna? By just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here, yeah, all the people in this material world, they are like distressed, they are envious of each other. But in here, Prabhupada gave us like very nice thing. So Prabhupada taught us like how to be happy in this material world. So once Prabhupada asked, like someone asked Prabhupada, like, what if you find out like there is no Krishna after you die? And Prabhupada asked him back, what if you find out like there is Krishna after you die? Then your life is finished, because you haven't done any pious activities, you haven't engaged in a devotional service of Lord. But if there is no Krishna, then what's harm in my life? I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm chanting, I'm living happily, I'm traveling the world, I'm eating nice prasadam. I have no stress of family, no stress of children, no stress of like wife, no stress of mortgage, loan, no stress of earning. So I'm is living my life more happy than you are. But if there is God after you die, then there's no chance you're gonna go back to Godhead, or you're gonna get another form. You're gonna spend your 8,400,000 species. You keep rotating on that cycle. So Prabhupada, at the age of like very old age, he went to America for the preaching of Krishna consciousness movement. So if Prabhupada had wanted, he could have just simply sit down in a Vrindavan, chant his rounds, because he was sure gonna go back to Godhead, because he's the pure devotee of Krishna. So if he wanted that, he could have easily just sit in the temple, chanted his round, do his devotional service, do his sadhana, engage in the worship of Lord, and then go back home, back to Godhead. But Prabhupada is a Vaishnava. So who is a Vaishnava? A Vaishnava is a devotee of Krishna who makes other person a devotee of Krishna. So Vaishnava is that devotee who gives the love of Godhead to other people, who distribute the love of Godhead. So as a Prabhupada, as a Vaishnava, couldn't see the conditioned soul suffering in this universe. So he was so compassionate for all of us. So Prabhupada went to America to preach this movement to the Westerners, to American, because America at that time was like a capital of the world. So all the people, they were getting influenced by the American culture, because Prabhupada like made us like our life so easier. Like he many rules and regulation, he changed it for us, because he knew we are the fools who couldn't do perfectly. So he even said like, you do whatever I have told you, just that, and I will take you back home, back to Godhead, because we don't have qualification to go back to Godhead just by our own bhakti, our own, because we are not the pure devotee. We have got like so many anarthas. We are envious of others. If someone comes and give us instructions, then yeah, we'll be like angry, like why is this guy teaching me like that? We feel like that. So we are with that motive. We are not perfect. We are not pure. But Prabhupada was pure. So he said, our only chance go back home, back to Godhead is if we only take the shelter of Prabhupada. Because in Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna will say like, I'm not gonna take him with me because he hasn't done any devotional service. But if Prabhupada requested, please Krishna, at least he came in my shelter. So Krishna will, we have already like in different shastra we say like, Krishna will break his own promise to fulfill the promise of his devotees. So if only Prabhupada, like in India, Nepal, we have that system, sifaris, what we call in English. So like, if we get to like, if one father is in a big position, then recommendation. So he will try to recommend his wife, his children, and everything in his own office. So on the big managerial positions, so there will be one family like sitting like a snake, coiling around the eggs. So they will take hierarchy position. Even in Nepal, all the ministers, they are prime ministers. They are like, father is prime minister, son is finance minister, wife is different minister. So they are like a snake coiled up around his egg, protecting. They don't want to give up the chair. So that's the condition. So and then so Prabhupada, like only if he only like in front of Krishna, he put our recommendation, please Krishna, at least he chanted rounds, at least he came in my shelter, he visited the temple, and then at that way Krishna will say, okay, if you say so. And our only chance of going back home, back to Godhead, is if we come under the shelter of Prabhupada. So and then like when I was listening to my Guru Maharaj's lecture, so he said, recall the pastime of Prabhupada. One time one devotee was like preaching like this, you don't have to go to Radha and Krishna, you can just go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Radha and Krishna are two persons, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna combined. And then the devotee were like, oh, maybe he's right, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna in one person, and Radha and Krishna are two persons. Devotee thought like that. And then they went to Prabhupada, and then they asked Prabhupada like, Prabhupada, who is greater, Radha and Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And Prabhupada said, Radha and Krishna are the original in the Goloka Vrindavan. The mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is of a devotee. So he came here to spread the mission of like Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He came here to preach to the people. And then, so he is in a mood of devotee, but he is a Radha and Krishna combined. So he is a Krishna in the bhava of Radharani. And then this devotees asked, then who is greater? Then Prabhupada said, the devotion to Krishna is the greater. So what is the greater is like? The bhakti to Krishna is the greatest one can have. But even like when we see people outside, even when I was outside ISKCON, I used to think like, what are these people doing? Their life should be like so miserable. They cannot eat anything. They have like, I cannot eat this one. They have to check all the ingredients in their packet before eating. I used to think like that. And then, but when I come here, actually, I found out like how much my life can be easier after taking the shelter of Prabhupada. So our only end goal should be to take the shelter of Prabhupada, to please Prabhupada. How can we please Prabhupada? How can we please our gurus? Because Prabhupada's mood was always preaching and book distribution. If you want to preach like please Prabhupada, the only way Prabhupada will be happy is like you can go and distribute his books, because the books is the powerful weapon Prabhupada made. He even made like a BBT, a different outside ISKCON, because if this movement, like if the like in this material world, if the envious people, if they are envious of this movement, if by chance if they try to stop this movement, but still Prabhupada books will be there. So Prabhupada said, I will not die, I will live in my books forever. So and then even in like when Prabhupada was in the bed, his late age, when he was ready to go back to Godhead, but still when devotee will come and share him knowledge like, Prabhupada, we did book distribution, Prabhupada would say like, now this is giving me life. So that makes Prabhupada like really happy. Is like the books distribution. So we can at least try, go and preach, distribute Prabhupada books. That will be our only mission in ISKCON, to preach the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then, yeah, in coming back to the topic, so here we says like there are different rasas as well. Here talks about Prabhupada talks about Dasya rasa, Sakya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Madhurya rasa, and above all Parakiya rasa. So that's in the Golok Vrindavan. That's the rasa, conjugal love between Radharani and Krishna. So in that rasa, like Krishna, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will act like he is under the control of his devotee. He is under the control of Radharani. So in that they are like, and the Sakhis will assist Radharani, different gopis will assist Radharani, and they will perform their like pastimes in there. So our Vedic Shastras are like more scientific than what modern day science claim themselves to be. Like the modern day science, they are like, trying to find out like, oh, there are different planetary systems, or there are different multiverse in this universe, and they think like they have made the biggest achievements, finding out like there are a different universe. We are not the only universe in this planet, there are multiverse. But like millions of years, our Shastra have been explaining like all the multiverse universe coming like a small pores from like small bubbles from the body of Mahavishnu. So what modern day scientists cannot find it is already explained, given in our Shastra. So what they try to do is like all the scientists, the big personalities, they read our Shastras, they read Bhagavad Gita, they read Bhagavatam, and they take reference from there. And then what they do is like they present as their own idea, they steal the credit. Everybody like, they say like, oh, he did like this, but back behind they are all inspired by our Shastra. Even like if we as a like born in this culture, like I never used to read Bhagavad Gita, know nothing, but like the people like Bhagavad Gita, you can take it from like all the aspects. If you want knowledge, Bhagavad Gita gave you knowledge. So Bhagavad Gita can be, if you want devotional service, Bhagavad Gita will devotional service. If you are karma kandi, Bhagavad Gita will teach you how to do niskam karma. So people who are like after different who have different desires, they see the Bhagavad Gita as a book to fulfill their like, how even Bhagavad Gita can be even used in a business. That's the power of Bhagavad Gita. Like that in the middle of the battlefield, maybe like Krishna gave a class to Arjuna when Arjuna surrendered to him. Now you are my spiritual master, guide me. Before that, Krishna was just a friend of Arjuna. So when I was reading Bhagavatam, like Sukadev Goswami is glorifying the different dynasties, like, oh, all glories to the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj, such a devotee. All glories to like Pṛthu Maharaj. All glories to the dynasty of King Priyavrata, in whose dynasty Maharaj Rishabdev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared. And then at that time, and last sentence Sukadev Goswami said is like, but the greatest one is your Pandava dynasty, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead served as your servants to you. So Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna will like act like a friend as their servant, like, and like he was a charioteer of Arjuna. So in the middle of the battlefield there were like so many noises, and if Arjuna had to like give instruction to Krishna to turn right, he will kick with his legs. If he kick with his right legs, then Krishna will know I have to turn right. If he kick with his left legs, then Krishna used to know I had to turn left. When like but like when Krishna was like that, he was like serving as he even did anything he could do for the Pandavas. He was with always their friends. And Arjuna, how he let Arjuna took the credit. Arjuna was like unwilling to fight. He said like, I will not fight, I will not kill my kinsman. But Krishna said, even if you don't fight, doesn't matter, because this thing is certain to happen. If you don't take the credit, someone else will take the credit. But this war you cannot prevent this war. You cannot prevent. So and then Krishna simply let Arjuna took the credit. Arjuna, like we know him as the greatest archer. But when Lord Sri Krishna left and when he went back to his own abode, and then when Pandavas find out, when Arjuna find out, like Krishna is gone, then he was like so much, he was so lamenting. And then the Arjuna who was never defeated, when he came back, like he was protecting the wives of Krishna, he was defeated by the forest mans. He was defeated by like ordinary persons, and when he couldn't even defend the wives of Lord Krishna. And then when Yudhishthir Maharaj like asked him like, what good news you have brought, then Arjuna was like lamenting. And then that's how a great devotee Arjuna was. Arjuna, if like ordinary souls like us would have been the position of Arjuna, we would have said like, I am the greatest archer, so I killed Karna, I killed Bhishma, I killed many great warriors in Mahabharata, so this Mahabharata war is won because of me. But Arjuna was simply there crying, and he said, the Supreme Lord who is I thought like, I'm victorious because of me, but I was only victorious because the Supreme Lord was my charioteer. All my power was there because of the will of Krishna. Now he is gone, I am the same Arjuna, I have the same Gandhi, I have got the same knowledge of the Astras and Shastras, but I got defeated by the ordinary people. So all these times Lord Krishna was empowering me, I am nothing without him. So he had like said a very big prayers, like he glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like he had said many things to like King Yudhishthira. And then like they are all King Yudhishthira, King Parikshit, Dhruva Maharaj, Pṛthu Maharaj, they are all like very exemplary king. They all knew how to satisfy the citizens, and then like they knew how to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they were like great in performing the sacrifice. But in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has like recommended the only sacrifice we can perform is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So and then Pṛthu Maharaj, like he was a king, but he lived his life as a perfect devotee. Like he was a Viṣṇu himself, performing sacrifice to please Viṣṇu. He was like Saktavyasa avatar, so he was the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was empowered by Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he was like setting up an examples. Like Lord always comes there, he always put his devotee in troubles. He always put himself in trouble just to show a right path for the coming generation, or like for other people who is gonna be his devotee or who are not devotee, how to live their life as like perfectly. So Pṛthu Maharaj is setting up an example how ideal king should look like. So and then later when even like Pṛthu Maharaj, we see like he is a king, his universe is like the greatest empire on the universe. His empire is the greatest empire in the universe. He has got so much opulence, he has got so much wealth, but his surrenderness and humbleness is like a very exemplary. So he was like worshipping all the different planet, even inhabitants of different planets, and he is like offering as much as wealth and as much as sweet words he can offer. So that shows like how people here nowadays, like they all wants to keep the money for themselves. Like, but Pṛthu Maharaj, he's not attracted by all these wealth, all these opulence, all these fames. He was there until his time to rule. He ruled the earth, and after his time, after he decided now I have to go back home, then he gave up everything. So all these like exemplary kings in Bhagavatam, if we hear like see their stories, then they are all like taking their kingdom as an ideal king. They have every opulence, but they are not attached to it, because they are not attached to all the opulence, they are not attached to their wealth, they are not attached to their fames. And until like their son is like now ideal, they train their son, and when their son is ideal, they are fit to rule the kingdom, they will simply give up their all the opulence, all the wealth. They will like split everything. So they will treat all this opulence and all this fame are like a spit. If you spit, then that's gone. Like, you're not gonna go back and take it again in your mouth. So they all treat the wealth and opulence like that. It's time to go back to Godhead. They will go to forest and they will perform a devotional service, because they all knew the devotional service to Lord Krishna is the greatest. So they all would go in the forest. They will perform like a devotional service. They will do like a yoga, and then from there, like, they will pass their body airs from all up to head, and then like they will simply go back home, back to Godhead. And then like here after Pṛthu Maharaj, I think his son Vijitasatva or Vijit, I think his name is Vijitasatva something. So he became the king. He got this name because he was able to defeat Indra. So all like sages and the demigods, they were so pleased with his bravery, so they gave him that name. And then now currently, like I'm in Bhagavatam, I'm on reading the story of King Rishabdev. So Rishabdev is also like a very exemplary king, same as Pṛthu Maharaj. And then he is also Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is instructing his son. So in like a short instruction of Rishabdev, he has given like in one chapter of instructions, like certain pages, he has given everything one needs to know about Krishna and everything one needs to do to perform the devotional service of Krishna. How all these material attachments, how people in this material worlds, they are like attached by so many things. Everybody wants the money for themselves, everybody wants the fame for themselves, everybody are entangled in the attachment. And then but the different ideal kings and different devotees in Bhagavatam, they are detached to everything. They are only attached to Supreme Personality of Godhead in his devotions. So our motives will be, we should always get attached to the loving service of Godhead. We should always get attached to fulfilling the mission of Prabhupada and distributing his books. So I would like to conclude my class in here. If I have any mistake, any correction or any questions. No? Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Thank you so much.